Phil Pritchard's a really good friend of mine. I've known him a long time. And I was in Sweden at Congress with obviously representing Ice Hockey UK. Put a bid in, got the World Championships, and I said to Jim and Ash, who was there, that we should run a 100-year celebration dinner. Oh, I don't know, we need to take it to the board, etc., etc. I said, well, I've got some good ideas if we do. And I said, well, what is it? I said, well, we could take the Stanley Cup there. We could bring the Stanley Cup to Scotland. And they were like, you really think so? And I'm like, well, hey, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
These guys can take a nice slow for
We've been learning lots of ice hockey today, I have to say.
Should bring one, say not that way.
So have they found a spot in the rivals then where they're going to go? So Ian's there, Ash is there, Colin.
Is it?
All is well?
Yeah, really well.
Hi, how are you doing?
Andy
How are you doing? How are you? Nice to meet you.
Good.
Hi, how do you do? Craig Campbell.
Good flight.
Pleasure.
Fast. I mean, it was delayed in Toronto. We were 2.5 hours delayed in Toronto. We didn't think we were going to make this flight.
Tailwind was great, so we're an hour earlier.
We landed at 6:30, so we were.
So you're wide awake right now.
So we've been playing road hockey down there.
So we got off the plane and went through customs, and then she found us and said, "Hey, you're supposed to be on the other side." So, where's your skates?
They wouldn't let me through with them. You're right. I'm Bobby. How's it going?
They wouldn't let you through with them?
No.
Yeah, he played for the under-20s and won the gold medal in 1997.
We didn't think you left under 20s.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, I figured
Just a couple of years.
I figured you were 21.
Just a couple of years, Charles.
Thank you.
Quite like you know.
Well, this is really special, and it's a great honor for both Phil and I to be here. It's a century of hockey, a century plus of hockey, but you're honoring your formations, and so to come here, the original Stanley Cup Bowl coming from the UK, and all that tradition. It's a global phenomenon, and so it's a great pleasure for us to be here and see that celebrated so well.
Craig and I are kind of entrusted in looking after it along with some other guys. We put a lot of trust into the airlines and customs and security in that. But thankfully there's a lot of hockey fans out there and they understand what it means and the tradition about it. So we keep our fingers crossed and we get on the plane and we watch a movie.
It's a good exercise for you though, right?
Yeah. So my thought was if he's here, then it's going to be almost the same height as him.
I get one of them. Whereabouts?
We're just waiting for the steps to be retracted, but they're on their way, I believe.
Once that retracts, you'll be able to move back a bit, cut it.
No chance just for 2 minutes just to shift that back up.
Because if he gets his crews to push and it's not ready to go, then we're...
No worries.
I want you in there.
And I think if you maybe have him looking sort of awestruck at it.
And maybe for the second one, you're kind of maybe looking at the top of it and just going, wow, it's fantastic. You get all that enthusiasm. Looking at the cup as well. A little bit more excited. More excited.
Come on!
One of my thoughts was to have him sit on it, sitting on the case with his arm around it this way.
Yeah.
So he's sitting there, and then you're
going to get you two guys in the picture as well.
No, you want me in there.
So put your hands in the kind of like that rather than like that. 1, 2, 3.
It's got 120 years of ice hockey history behind it, all the teams that have won it, all the players, and if it could talk, it would be a bestseller, and this is another chapter it would add to it today in Scotland. with every job, there's plus and minuses, and the plus parts is we meet some great people, we go to some great places. The minus parts is you're not in your own bed and you're away from your family. But I think, for Craig and I, our kids are getting a bit older. They understand it all and that, and I think they want to come out and come with us one day. So hopefully that'd be a reality. But I mean, I'd trade it in to win the cup one day, no problem.
Is it not coming out on its thing? Oh.
Well, you might take it out.
Okay.
It's the first time it's in Scotland here, and we're thrilled to be here for the U20 World Championships. We just got a great tournament going on. There's a lot of history in this here. Obviously, Lord Stanley being from Britain, it adds a bit more to it. But I think, as we saw as we walked out of the arrivals gate, there's a lot of fans, a lot of media, and it's a great sport. It's played in 75 countries around the world, and everybody that puts on skates and holds a pair of gloves loves this thing.
You can push it again now.
Thought I was done. We've been working on this with the UK Ice Hockey Federation for about 6 months now to make this happen. Through the works of Andy French and his staff there and the Hockey Hall of Fame and the National Hockey League, it became a reality. And through security and working with the airlines and obviously customs and everything, we took a flight yesterday afternoon from Toronto to Newark and then the direct flight into Glasgow and arrived today to a great reception. And as we can see, there's a lot of hockey fans here, and I'm hopefully tomorrow in Dumfries we'll see a lot more of them.
Hey. Sorry guys, I'm just getting you back.
Smile though, Bobby. Oh, do you want the arm up or down? Yeah, I had mine down. I don't know if you want it up or down.
This way, after he's finished, Andy, this way. At the mid, please. Really happy. Thank you. Just lean in a bit, Chris. That's it. All right, lads, can you see? Yeah? One more.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. We all try to be like Andy French.
I see you're all dressed up there, Andy. Way to go.
Come over. You guys have done that before. Yes, 5 o'clock, yes. And we'll get you moved in the back again.
You got both of us sitting here.
Well, now I got one for.
He's a smart guy. He's making sure.
I got one for Jim.
I think overall, it's the excitement about the Stanley Cup, which Phil kind of alluded to. It really doesn't matter where the Stanley Cup goes, and I think this is the uniqueness of the trophy worldwide, that everywhere you go, it stands out immensely because you see it in the eyes, the faces of the people, young and old, how much they embrace the great tradition of the trophy and what it means, and that's why it is the most significant sports trophy in the world.
I can't remember which year it is, but it's very similar to that. It has the logo on the front as well. I think it's a little bit later than that.
Yeah.
I see. Thanks so much for bringing it.
Pleasure. Because they were bloody good skates.
Yeah.
And before I had a pair of my own, I used to borrow his. But he had 2 pairs.
Yeah.
And that was he usually wore that. That was the best pair to wear.
That's
they were very nice.
Those are
They are
CCMs for sure.
Yeah. They were. All his skates were CCMs.
The
My
last
skates
year's
were CCMs.
model, they're not this year.
Probably
you're getting it.
19 off.
Andy, must like these That skate looks nothing like today's skate. When you go downstairs, there's a little stand from Bauer. You'll see
the modern day skate, which is much taller, supports the ankle, because the ankle moves around a lot. And when you're checked by the teams, you need to be able to keep your skates firm.
You guys want to come and see some of your classmates are being interviewed? Oh!
Everybody knows it.
Okay, guys, we've got to move.
Yeah.
I had a lot of pride in the events that I ran for the Elite League, and this is probably the biggest thing I've ever done for Ice Hockey UK. I said to Paul Romanek on an interview earlier with the IIHF, I said, by the end of the night, not get emotional, but it's like very comforting that everything's gone to plan.
Well, I think what you get impressed with when you've been in the business of hockey as long as I have is the passion and the work ethic that the people here have who are trying to help the young hockey players do all the best things for them, and it just jumps out at you. It's so great to see, and that's been my greatest feeling since I got here to see. I know that the British team didn't do as well as they'd hoped, but they put the effort in, and all the people involved. You can just tell by what's happening how hard they work and trying to make things good for the players. I just felt it was such a great honor to be asked to do it, and I mentioned about my ancestry of my grandparents and my dad being British citizens. And
so does the UK have a bit of a special place in your heart then, would you say?
Absolutely, there's no question about it, and I wish my dad was here, that I could have brought him to an event like this. He would have had his chest out. So far, he was a very proud Englishman.
This is pretty cool. If you're doing something to honor the centenary of British ice hockey, then you certainly want to have some centenary honorees. And we are going to honor those 12 people tonight, people who have made significant contributions to British ice hockey over the years.
It's absolutely fantastic. I kind of sitting there just felt a little bit humbled by the people that were announced before me. It's 100 years. I'm 30 years old, so I've not really been around for that long. So to be named within the kind of 100-year spectrum of having contributed something significant to the sport that I really care about is a huge, huge honour. And I can't thank Ice Hockey UK enough for recognising that for me. Yeah.
Absolutely great honour to be given one of the trophies. I know there was a big long list, and to be one of these people is very special.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Stanley Cup.
I want to thank two guys in particular, Mohammed and Andy, for phoning me and phoning the National Hockey League every day for 6 months to make this happen. Finally, we got a date. We figured it out with Andy. Then we had to figure out how to get here. And we're thrilled and honored to be part of your 100th anniversary celebration tonight. And thanks for having us as a part of it.
Obviously, the UK's got a great hockey history, and to bring the Stanley Cup over where it originates from, I think it's a great plus for the fans. But you can see by the celebration tonight, they love the cup, they love the game, they love the tradition about it, and so you'd think for hockey in UK, it's all moving forward ahead. It looks like it's a great future.
Ice hockey in this country has now gone from strength to strength, and a night like this just reminds everybody of the great wide family we have of ice hockey fans, coaches and players right across the United Kingdom.
It's been a lot of hard work, there's no doubt about that, but we've had I think there's about 47 countries sent letters in congratulating Ice Hockey UK, British Ice Hockey on achieving 100 years of hockey, and getting a letter from Sebastian Coe, and last but not least getting a letter from Buckingham Palace from the Queen is the icing on the cake. And I think everybody should be proud, whether they're contributing volunteers, people who get paid, players, admin, whatever they are. We've got people here that are 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years involved in hockey, and they should be proud of where we are today.